Bag milk. Bag milk. Bag milk. Oh, I smell bag milk. And I'm hungry like bag milk.
Bagged milk from OilersNation.com. How are you doing today?
Good morning, doing well.
Lots to get to, which I don't think we expected to get to some of this, but the surprise offer sheets from the St. Louis Blues last week, Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway, both Blues. Are you surprised they let them both go?
I was, yeah. So I was actually on a plane home from Toronto first thing yesterday morning, so I had no idea what was happening when I was in the air. I refused to pay for the Wi-Fi.
Me too.
But when I landed, I was surprised that they didn't sign at least one of them. I thought that my guess was, and my prediction was, I was just like, I bet they match Holloway because, that offer sheet wasn't nuts compared to what he probably was going to get. So I thought they were going to match that one and let Broberg go. So I was really surprised to see them let both guys go. Though at the same point, when I got home, I watched Stan Bowman's kind of, Zoom call that he did with the media, and everything he said makes sense. So as he was walking through it, I kind of was getting an understanding of what they're thinking. I go, oh, okay, now I get it. Now I get why you go make the pod calls and trade, because there's your hedge a little bit just in case things go sideways.
Right.
You go get Emberson in the CC trade, who is actually, based on all accounts, he's like just as good as Cody CC, but a third the price, which is kind of nice by all accounts. So I don't understand the Sharks angle on that one outside of maybe Mike Greer doing us a solid. Once an Oiler, always an Oiler. But yeah, overall, I was surprised. And when I was watching the press conference from the two boys in St. Louis, at least in my opinion, uneducated opinion, it seemed like Dylan Holloway was also surprised the Oilers didn't match.
Yeah, like the Broberg one, yeah. Because what I read somewhere, might have been on OilersNation.com, that the Oilers had only offered like $1.1 million to Broberg or something like that. And then obviously the offer sheet was like $4.5 million. So that one I was like, yeah, he's gone. But Dylan Holloway was only $2.2 million. So I was surprised, especially after they moved CC, because everyone thought, they were setting up to match. But it made sense, I guess. He wants some flexibility in the season in case they need to do something. So,
well, and there's also the question about Evander Kane, right? Like, I know a lot of Oilers fans, myself included, just kind of went, wow, toss him on LTIR. There's your money, no problem. Match them both.
Yeah.
But then you got the problem of, well, the NHL season is, 5-6 months long. Like, if he's not hurt for that entire time, he can't stay on the LTIR that entire time. And then you've got a very different kind of trade scenario coming down the line when you want to activate him if he had to come in before the playoffs started. So they were just in between a rock and a hard place is the answer. And I think it's interesting that they held their ground. I also think it's interesting that they squeezed out another prospect and a second, third-round pick out of the Blues kind of as a sweetener. So I just thought it was a really interesting approach by the Oilers. I think that I'm going to miss Holloway more than Broberg probably just because of the money. But yeah, those two are going to have some tough shoes to fill, some tough sledding in St. Louis. And I honestly think a guy like Holloway probably left long-term money on the table, not playing next to a Connor McDavid or a Leon Draisaitl, as opposed to whoever he's going to get as a centerman in St. Louis. So it is what it is, but it made for an interesting week in August. We don't normally get that, so that's cool.
I did laugh at somebody's comment. It was on like Twitter or something, where like, "Oh, the Oilers are setting up nicely to acquire Cody CC at the trade deadline."
Oh, nice! Yeah, now we're talking.
We had to also say goodbye to Oscar Klefbom. A sad end to his career as an Oiler, who just spent the last few years injured and officially retired yesterday. Hey.
Yeah, I'm going to do something about that on OilersNation.com today, but fare thee well, Oscar.
Yeah.
I think that Oilers don't get enough credit or maybe sympathy, and I know I'm biased, that they lost a defenseman as good as Oscar Klefbom for nothing. And I know it was a health reasons, and he's got some problems with his shoulders, and that just sucked, though, because he was playing some really good hockey at the time, and to lose him after the bubble playoffs and never see him again that's tough. That's a very tough loss. And when you add in the fact that Larson also went in the expansion draft, the Oilers lost a really competent defensive pairing for no return at all. So
Yeah.
that's tough sledding. It's a tough chip to be dealt, but fare thee well, Oscar Klefbom. You deserved better than your wonky shoulders, I think.
Well, we'll watch for your piece and more at OilersNation.com. Thanks for joining us today, Bagged Milk.
Thanks, fellas.